The Florida school shooting and others like it create a difficult challenge for parents and teachers, how to talk to children so that they're both prepared and reassured. John Yang sat down with some parents and school administrators in the Washington, D.C. area to see how they handle this responsibility.
You're right behind Daddy.
For 7-year-old Lily Gregorian, first grade is all about new experiences.
The only hope is for Ava.
Yesterday's first, an active shooter drill scheduled by her Washington, D.C. school in response to the Florida shooting. That morning, her parents, Stephanie and Jamie, had a chat with her.
We needed her to know why she was going to have to be undergoing this drill today.
Did you have any idea what to say?
No.
Lily had questions.
She was asking what happened to his brain. Why did he come into a school and want to start shooting people? What did he want?
It was a conversation that likely echoed in homes around the country.
I got gingerbread.
In Alexandria, Virginia, it was Rebecca Tiffany's 14-year-old daughter, Sophie, who brought it up.
I could see the distress on her face. And she said, we need to talk about what I can do if this happens in my school.
Gun violence had already encroached on Sophie's life. Her middle school is just blocks from the baseball field where Republican lawmakers were shot last year.
With each news incident like this, she's brought it up, but it seemed like this time it's much more impactful because she's headed to high school and it seems very real.
Was it a question and a conversation you were prepared for?
No one's prepared for this because it's outside of what we can imagine.
Rebecca has tried to shield her 11-year-old son, Grant, but has already thought about how she would answer if he asks about it.
We, as humans, always eventually rise above these things. We've had many horrific things in our history, but we eventually work our way through it. I believe that we will solve this because we love our children.
For the Gregorians, it was a loss of innocence for both parents and child.
When you have a child that crawls into your lap and kind of holds onto your arm and starts almost whimpering in, not fear, but just concern or not being able to really understand, you know, as a parent, it breaks your heart.
We know we've dropped her off. We see her when we pick her up. It's what goes on during the day that's outside of our control, and that's why I think a shooting is a little bit scarier to a parent than, you know, any other potential danger.
At Somerset Prep in Washington, the responsibility of keeping nearly 400 children safe falls to Principal Lauren Catalano and Donald Parker, Director of Student Support. Wednesday's shooting hit close to home for Catalano. She once taught near the school where it occurred and knows students and teachers there.
When I came to school this morning, every child that walked through the door, I couldn't help but think, this could have been one of those kids. And I think just from reading their faces, they felt uneasy. And that made me feel horrible because we want this to be the place that they feel safest.
To reassure students, they've scheduled an active shooter drill for next week.
Kids are concerned because, you know, schools have been a safe haven. And today we have to come to reality that there may be a day where we're faced with an active shooter.
They tried to make yesterday as normal as possible, including going ahead with a previously planned Valentine's Day dance. Catalano and Parker listened to students' concerns.
So it is just as much our responsibility to teach them to read, to know math, to apply scientific concepts, than it is to help them process their feelings, process their emotions, and understand that it's okay to talk about those things.
As a parent, Rebecca Tiffany wants her children to reach out to kids who don't seem to fit in.
I've coached my children many times about befriending the children who are sitting alone and making sure that they have someone to talk to. And if we all sat our kids down and talked about how those tipping point moments happen, I think we might be able to prevent at least some of those times when someone's mind goes from just being an angry person to becoming an active shooter.
And prevent some difficult conversations between parents and their children in the future. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm John Yang in Alexandria, Virginia.